You know what he's like, he's impossible to get hold of. Go on. Bob!
What?
Where are you?
I'm at machine shop.
We're in Spain.
Why?
Yeah, the Vince.
Oh, when is it?
It starts on Monday, mate. You've got 48 hours.
Oh, where is it?
Burgos. Do you know how you're getting here?
Yeah?
Have you done your maps, got a team, done your planning, everything?
Yeah?
Have you got a bike?
Yeah?
All right, cool. Well, it's very important. You know how Austin feels like this. He's been working on this event for years. It's really, really important that you and all your team have got all your planning.
I'm leaving now. Bye. This is my CRF 250X 2011 in a box. I need to get this bike built, customized, and back on the road in 3 days. Join us while we spend 3 days turning this into this, then putting it through its paces in the Spanish mountains. So this is currently how my bike looks. A collection of old and new parts that we have to get together in 3 days if we're going to make this trip work. This is how my bike looked years ago when it left the factory, and this is how it looks now. So let's start by cleaning some of the parts with our new Vixen Aqua Blaster. Starting off with the rear subframe. If you don't know what Vapor Blaster is, well, it's basically a way of using high pressure water and fine media to clean and even polish parts. We're using a super fine ceramic bead that takes away layers of grime and oxide, and it leaves a perfectly finished metal surface. And in just 3 minutes, that's the first part clean. Now we know this machine is good, but how good? We've got some extremely dirty and extremely rusty parts here to clean. So let's see what this can do, because this is what's going to bring the bike back to life. I'm going to hand these parts over to the rest of the machine shop team, Joe and his dad, and let's see what they can do with the swing arm. Everything has come out absolutely perfect. This is just as good as factory. Now we're going to hand it over to Nick, who's going to start prepping everything for paint, as we do have a plan on how we want this bike to look. First thing he does is warm up the parts slightly and then spray a coat of etch primer. Etch primer is an acidic primer we put on aluminium parts first, just so it gets a good grip in the metal. Now Nick's one of our trusty staff members, and he knows his way around bikes. He's built plenty himself, and I know for a fact he's up to the challenge. So after a good coat of acid etch primer, he's going to spray this frame black with 2K epoxy paint. And black is the theme that's going to carry on throughout the rest of this build. Okay, we've got a delivery from Mr. Lyndon Plaskett. So, he's a personal hero of mine because this guy ran a YouTube channel that I used to be absolutely mad about. His whole thing was he would race Dakar style rally bike from one race to another race. And he used to use this Endurostan stuff. So I've recently been talking to Linda, and he sent me out these new bags for my bike so I can carry all my stuff with me. And as well as that, a water bag. You hang that on your back, you keep hydrated in the hot weather. It's gonna be like the best 2011 bike ever. So while I've been yapping about these bags, Nick is full steam ahead getting my bike together. There is no stopping this man. He's just finishing getting the triple clamps in, and now he's about to fit the engine that he painted last night. If you haven't guessed already, we've made everything on this bike black. It's starting to come together really fast now. Just yesterday, this bike was in a box in loads of parts, not looking like a bike at all. So let's give it to Nick for putting this bike back together.
Take one.
A lot of people think that machine shop is just me, but there's actually 6 of us at the machine shop. So the next few things to do is fit the tank, the loom, the exhaust, get the wheels in and fire it up. And then this bike is done.
Nice. What are your Vince bike?
Yeah,
Tidy. I like the black.
it's very black.
Notice. So are you getting down there?
I'm gonna ride it.
Where are you staying?
Hotel.
Are you not worried about it getting nicked?
Should it be?
pretty sure we're the worst for bike theft in Europe.
Jack is right. The UK is up there with some of the worst countries in the world, only beaten by Italy and France. Over 34,000 motorcycles and scooters are stolen every year in the UK, with approximately 80% of those bikes taken from the owner's home. Even more concerning than that is about 85% of the bikes are never recovered, meaning thousands of riders never recover their pride and joy.
I'd just come back from riding it home from Hungary after being in Ukraine. Came out on the Thursday or Friday, I think it was, and it was just gone. It disappeared.
Literally got my first bike. It was a CB125F, sitting in the front garden. Had a tall gate, so don't know how anyone knew there was a bike in there. And yeah, just woke up, went to go check it out, wasn't there. Asked around at the neighbours. Luckily the neighbour across the street from us had a Ring camera, and just looked at the footage and I saw 4 men jump over the fence and lift my bike up between the 4 of them and throw it over the gate.
My BMW got taken. It had a lock on it at that time. It wasn't locked to anything, and they just lifted it and took it away. I had a set of tyres to fit to it. I'd come downstairs in the morning with the 2 tyres over my shoulders, like, yeah, this is going to be great. Open the door, no bike.
Motorbikes make up only about 3% of the vehicles on the UK roads, but they make up over 25% of reported vehicle thefts, making motorbikes the most targeted vehicle for theft in the UK. But what we can do is make it as difficult as possible for the thieves.
You've got a lock.
I think Guy's got some in the cupboard.
Don't mind you taking them.
Well, he got these as a part of a sponsorship deal about 3 or 4 months ago, and he's not done anything with them yet, so
Fair enough.
Are they any good?
let's find out. What are you going to do with that?
Can't be locked if it's a liquid.
It's not going to get hot enough. It's hardened steel.
It hurts my hand.
What, are you going to spend like 8 hours on it?
We need to keep this realistic.
This is realistic.
No one has that in their van.
I've got this in my van.
What disc? Let's go again then. That's gone.
That's pretty reamed.
That is.
But
Yeah,
Fail.
yeah, fail.
That blade is definitely gone. I've got an idea. Let's go. Doesn't seem very practical, does it? Just want to see what happens, mostly. Yeah, but I mean, we've got to try and keep it realistic at least.
Flex tools!
So if this lock is something that you're interested in, there's a link in the description. It brings you straight to the website. That was significantly more difficult than I was expecting. I was thinking, yeah, I'll figure it out. I can get through that really quick.
Oh yeah, took us about an hour, didn't it, really?
Even the best power tools in the world couldn't get through it.
From Germany. Doesn't really give you much room to try and get anything out of it.
On a bike, you'd have to still cut through the bottom part.
That's twice as many cuts as we've done.
Nearly double.
Almost.
Round it up.
Right, I'm happy that answers that. Do we have any left that haven't been damaged?
Yeah, just the one lock, actually.
Man, all right, off to Spain. So after a long but safe trip to Spain, let's show you this bike in all its glory. Right, now the bike is built, let's get the machine shop team around us and see if we can win some Vince points. So, the Vince. the very interesting Navigation Challenge event. It's an event we try and get to every summer. It's in northern Spain, and we have to go around navigating with maps. You're not allowed to use a GPS. There is several points that you have to get your bike to. Each checkpoint has a code, and you have to write the code in a book, and you win points for every code you get. So we're going to take the machine shop team and split it into groups. Let's see who wins the most points. So before we do all that, let's see what this bike we built is capable of. Now we know the bike is capable, let's get the teams together and score some points. We're going to split this group into 3 teams, because not everybody rides at the same level. We've got the intermediate bunch, the group with silly bikes, and then we've got my team. The first team is called Dell's team. The second team is called Bad Dragon. And the third team is called, well, Guzzlers Club. No, it's not safe for YouTube. So before we get split up into groups, we're here for 5 days. And 2 of those days are for training. Monday is maps, Tuesday is off-road skills. And as brilliant as the teachers were, we're here to compete in this non-competitive event. Now we're left to our own free will. Let's get out on the routes and let's find some checkpoints.
Yeah, last 2.
Last 2.
You've lost us 6 points. 1 for your bike breaking down and 5 for being you. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, fucking did.
Find out.
Oh, good heat stroke.
Points aside, we all had the best time. And I just want to say a big thank you to this man, Austin himself, for putting on such a fantastic and unique event. Austin has spent years of his life putting this event together and in a way that is accessible to new and experienced riders. And a massive shout out to Suzuki, who supplied these awesome bikes to the Machine Shop team. They were honestly so capable and perfect for this kind of trip. Both the DRZ 400 and the V-Strom 800. And a huge thank you to Joe and Nick for helping me build this bike in time for the event. But now it's time to head home and get back to work.
Oh, that was awesome. I'm so glad we did that. I know you've been busy with the car stuff lately, but it's nice to do bike stuff with you again.
Much on this week?
I've still got to do that HIPLOK video. They've been waiting months.